All right, cool. So let me share my screen. See if that goes well. Okay, can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yep.
I see thumbs up. Very good. Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining on this mindset workshop. I hope you've all made yourself comfortable after the kind of Spartan fundamentals course which we did. You're already heroes in my book for lasting for 2 hours in a full storm. So well done. So let's get started right away. Cool. Yes. All right. So let me need to shift it around a little bit so I can see my notes. Cool. So I assume you're all here because your goal is that you want to change something. Yeah. Otherwise you probably wouldn't be here. Well, there is a challenge with change, and that is that people don't like it. And the funny thing is that it goes for positive change as well as for negative change. And why is that? Is that change challenges your identity. It touches upon who you consider yourself to be. So that is something to take into account. But that's what we're here for, to help you with. There's sorry. There's a challenge with goals as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's very good to have goals. Only the fact is that goals are temporary. You can set yourself a goal saying, okay, I want to lose X amount of weight or X amount of fat percentage. But what if you reach that goal? What then? I mean, what are you going to do then? So what I would think is that instead of focusing on a goal, it's much better to focus on the process, the process you are following in order to obtain your goals. Because focusing on the process is indefinite, and that can last you a lifetime. So one of the best ways to change your process, the way you do things, is by changing your habits, and that's what we're going to talk about in a little while. But let's first I want to touch on two other subjects. So the first one is about action. Am I still audible? Can you still all hear me? Cool.
Yep.
Any questions so far? Let's see. I don't see. Oh, let me see. Yeah, there's something in the chat. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, cool. So, all right, let's continue. So a lot of what people tend to think is that you need to have motivation in order to come into action. While actually it's usually the other way around. You might notice that if you do anything that you usually, because you are doing things, you're becoming motivated, and you're becoming inspired to do more things. So what I'm saying is that don't focus too much on motivation, because that's the funny thing is that waiting for motivation is actually kind of the ultimate procrastination. So because you're saying, yeah, okay, I'm not going to do anything because I need to be motivated. Now it's the other way around. Usually when you start doing things, that's when you get motivated by the very act of doing an action itself, and that becomes inspired to do more. That's a little bit on action, and actually the best way to keep that that circle going of action, getting motivated, getting inspired, is by what they call what you can call is protecting the asset. The asset being you, being your body, your mind, is to protect that, to keep yourself in optimal shape, so that you can keep on acting, can keep on getting motivated, keep on getting inspired. Well, and there's a few basic things in there by protecting the assets. Very important, obviously, is nutrition, recovery, and sleep. And those are the things which Nikki is going to talk about a lot. How you can positively influence those things. So, okay, let me quickly. Every once in a while, I'll check if there's any questions. No, cool. All right. So let's continue. Talking about focus. Is any one of you familiar with Covey's circle of influence and the circle of concern? Ever heard about that? Having a look. No, not seeing any. Cool. Well, basically, what Stephen Covey was one of the great thinkers about basically what you can call life management, how you can get a grip on your life. And one of the concepts he used is what he called the circle of influence and the circle of concern. Basically, what he says is that you've got your circle of influence, and those are all the things which you can control. There's and then on the outside of that, you have what is called your circle of concern. So those are all the things you can't control. Like, for instance, the weather. As we saw today, there was not much controlling there. But what you could influence was your presence. You were all there. So in that way, you achieved a very good thing, and that was starting this challenge and starting doing the fundamentals course and getting familiar with the basics of CrossFit. So that's maybe a nice example. See something in the chat. Attitudes, yes, that is indeed. You can control your attitude. Cool. All right. So with that, I would like to do a little exercise, so I can finally stop blabbering, and you can start contributing. Let me see. Oh, sorry, just need to switch around a little bit. Oh, yeah, there it is. Cool. So what I would like you to do, and you can see it on the screen, is to go to www.menti.com and then type in that code. And if all goes well, you should go into this screen. Just let me know if indeed you're seeing when you go to menti.com and then type in that code 78651919. If you then see, yes, I see it. Someone is already putting. Very good, very good. Cool. So, indeed, what I would like you to do is to take some time, take a couple of minutes, and just do a brain dump of everything you can influence in order to reach your goal for the. Oh, sorry. Here it says 6-week challenge. Obviously, that should be a 4-week challenge. That is still something from the past. But so think of all the things which you can influence in order to reach your goal for this 4-week challenge. Let's take a couple of minutes for that. So, see something in the chats. Mark's asking, code via the chat, please. Yes, I will do that. That is 78651919. There you go. Oh, sorry. No, that's only going to Nisar. I need to do it to everybody. 78651919. No Corona parties. Yes, very good, very good. I see already a very cool. Let's just take a couple of minutes. I'll let you just do your brain dump, and then after a couple of minutes, we'll have a quick browse through what everybody has written. Cool. Looking good, guys. Looking good. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So let's just go over a couple of things you've written down, because it's funny because you also see you see some trends. So I like this one, and I especially so here you have talk about your goals with others. I really like that one. I see it coming back a couple of times. Let's see, do it together, find a support buddy, telling everybody that I do the challenge. So yeah, I really like that one. Also, limit extra screen time, prepare meals in advance. Look what I eat. Really nice, really nice. Good, 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 good. Okay. So, let me see, because now I have one other question for you, and it should have been the reverse order, like I said, you're my guinea pigs, but it doesn't matter. It still serves its purpose. So, second thing I would like you to do is to write and to go basically. I think if you're on that site, you can go back one page, and then is what you see here on screen. Write everything down which you cannot influence. So which is in your circle of concern. So what are the things which you cannot influence in order to reach your goal? Corona 2 times. Yes, that's that's definitely a thing. So again, let's do a brain dump. Let's think of all the things you can think about which you cannot influence. And I'll just let you ponder that a little bit. Kinderen up. I know who that is. Easter eggs, nice. Cool. Yeah, there's still some things coming in. Funny thing is that, and I really like that one, is that what you see is that there are less than with the other list. So that's very good. That's very good. That means that means like a can-do attitude and a focus on the things you can change. So that's very good. So let's go over a couple of things. Yeah, see a lot of Corona, obviously. Sudden health issues, Easter eggs, yeah. That time of year. Other people, it's a very good one as well. Expectations from others, yes, very good. So, all right. Now I've got now that you've written down these things, and that's what I mentioned earlier, that actually we needed to do the other way around, but I'm interested. Did you by any chance we're trying to think of things which you cannot influence, and then we're actually thinking, yeah, I can change it. I can actually change it. So did that cross your mind? That you were thinking, okay, at first, okay, I can't change this, and then you were thinking about it, like, yeah, I can actually change it. Let's see, sorry. Nora, were you saying something? Or?
No, but I think that's true.
Yeah.
There's things that crossed my mind that I was like, well, technically, I can influence that.
Yeah. No, very good. I want the yeah, and that's the funny thing. So let me switch screens again. Let's see. Let's go back to the presentation. Yes, next slide. And that is the funny thing how it works. So if you focus on your circle of influence, if you focus on the things which you can control, then that circle will actually start to grow, because you're focusing on the things you can influence. You're taking action in that direction, and then what you will see is that actually that circle of influence will expand. Contrary to if you focus on your circle of concern on things you cannot change anyway, because then you will stay inactive. If you're saying, well, it's so the weather is so shitty, I can't work out. Yeah, then you're not working out. Whereas if you're saying, okay, it's shitty weather, I can't change anything about it, but I can still decide to go and work out like you did today, and that's when your circle of influence starts to expand. And I think those things, focusing on your circle of influence can very much help you within this challenge. Don't worry too much about things you cannot change. So just try to keep that focus on things which you can change. Cool. All right. Let me see. Nothing in the chat yet. So I just, okay, where's my cursor? It's totally gone. Cool. Okay. Me and two screens. That's not a very. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Yes. Just getting away my chat. Cool. All right. So, getting back to habits. So, what are habits? Habits are like automated processes which help you free up brain capacity for creative thinking and for important decisions. Breathing is a habit, luckily. I mean, yes, cool. Oh, it's nice that you like this order better. Sorry, got distracted by the chat. Anyway, getting back to habits. Breathing, that's a habit, luckily, because if you would have to think every time to breathe in and breathe out, you probably wouldn't do much else on a day, and you would die as soon as you would go to sleep. So luckily that's a habit. And so that's obviously is a very extreme example, but it is estimated that up to 90% of all the things you do in a day is done out of habit and without thinking about it. Maybe another example which you might have experienced is that you're driving your car, and then all of a sudden you are 20 kilometers further and you're wondering how the hell did you get there. It's just, that's how habits can do. It's a road you've driven a dozen times, and you're basically driving it without you actively noticing. Cool. But it's good. If you would have to think consciously about all those things, you wouldn't get anything else done. So habits are good. Let's see. Changing. And that's what we talked about. A very large part of what you do on a daily basis is formed by your habits. You can say you are what you consistently do. So let's have a closer look at those habits. if you break it down, a habit consists of 4 things. It's a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward. So there's something which triggers your habit, and some occasion which triggers your habit, and then there's a craving. You respond to that craving in a certain way, and then you get a reward. For instance, let's say, well, not a very good example anymore in this Corona times, but let's say you walk to work, and you're passing a bakery. That is your cue. That is the action. You passing the bakery. The craving can be for donuts. You're smelling all the nice smells coming from the bakery, and you're like, okay, I want a donut. Okay. Well, then you get a response, and your response can be, okay, I'm going inside the bakery, getting myself a donut. And afterwards, you get the reward, and the reward is the well-known sugar rush, in which you get totally high on all the sugar you're getting. So that's how habits work, and those four parts. Why am I telling this? Because this is things we can work with, but I'll get to that later on. So what I want to say is that habits can put you on a positive trajectory, but they can also put you on a negative trajectory. Let's say in the example which I just mentioned, you're passing the bakery, and you get your craving for donuts. If you do that every day, I mean, if you eat a donut once, that's fine. If you're eating donuts consistently over a longer period of time, maybe not such a good idea. So, but also a response could be is that bakery is a very modern bakery, and they're also selling salads. And instead of getting a donut, you're getting yourself a salad. Well, not bad. And you can imagine the difference it could make. Let's say if you're eating a donut every day for half a year, as compared to eating a salad every day for half a year. I mean, what a difference that could make. So that's what habits can do for you. They determine the trajectory you put yourself on. All right. So the key is to find those habits which put you on a bad trajectory, and to change them for habits which put you on a good trajectory. And that is what the next exercise is going to be about. So now I'm going to stop talking again and let you do the work. So we're going to that Menti again, now using a different code, and I'll put it in the chat as well. 3650607. There you go. So let me switch screens again. Yes, there it is. Exercise number 2. Let's see if I have the proper slide. No, need to have the first one. All right, cool. So question is to write down all your habits which are counterproductive to reaching your, and of course that's a before-week challenge goals. So let's start with that. That's actually 2 questions in one, but let's start with the first one. Write down all your habits which are counterproductive to reaching your 4-week challenge goals. All right, let's do another brain dump on this. And I'll give you a couple of minutes. Cool. All right. Thank you very much, guys. A lot of response. Love it. Love it. So let's have a quick browse through. So I'm seeing apparently we have a very gezellige group, because I see a lot of answers that have to do with alcohol. So that's but and I also see some quite a few remarks with regards to sitting too much, which is obviously something which is very much related to these Corona times. This is a nice pre-Corona answer. Gezelligheid with a group. All right, cool. Thanks, I really love it. A lot of answers. Cool. All right, so question number 2 here, and you don't have to write it down here on the screen. Maybe do it for yourself. I don't know if you've got pen or paper, or I can write it somewhere down on the digital version. Have a look at those things you've written down and try to pick the 3 habits which you think have the most influence, which are the most counterproductive, and write that down. Write that down for yourself. Maybe no. While we're working digital anyways, or improvising on the go, if you can write it down in the comments, saying 1, 2, 3, that would be great. Which you think have the most influence? I already see one. Very good. Wrong food, alcohol, not enough water. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I now hope you've for yourself you've picked those 3 habits. Okay, now we will move to our next part of the second part of the exercise. See if I can. Yes. Okay. So you've picked those 3 things. Now have a look at it. What makes you do those things? What makes you do those counterproductive habits? What is your cue? What is as a let's if we go back, we had, for instance, wrong food or alcohol, not enough water. Okay, so going back here, what makes you eat the wrong food? What makes you drink too much alcohol? What makes you drink too little water? What is the cue? What triggers that behavior? What triggers those habits? And then let's think about how you can turn those counterproductive habits into productive ones. What could you do? How can you turn around? What can you change? What can you change in your response? What can you change in your... So let's take a couple of minutes for that. And let's write it down on Mental. Already seeing some good things coming in. Cool. Yeah, nice people. See some very thank you so much for all this from all this feedback. If we look at it, one thing I noticed, and that's I think boredom, and then I think that's probably something which is very much related to these Corona times, and which I can relate very much. I mean, I can very much think that at some point that being in the same type of situation, the same type of environment can get to you. Yeah, what is your cue? Less sleep, really tired, and that's what we were talking about earlier. That's about protecting that asset. If you don't get enough sleep, then your resistance is so much lower. Your thresholds is so much lower. Good one. I like this. I like this one. Searching for something which is stress reducing instead of eating cookies. Doing 10 push-ups, nice tea. I actually like the push-ups one because as you might have noticed that working out, doing like really physical activities, really gets you out of your head, and just being busy with your body can be very stress reducing. Yeah, I mean, I can very much relate to that. Sometimes working out is just therapy. That's cool. All right, cool. So thank you again. Thank you very much for this input. So I hope that I've been able to show you how you can first. Let's do a quick recap. Habits determine a very large part of what you do on a daily basis, and therefore of who you are. So habits, the ability to change habits is very important um, in getting a different outcome for yourself. So we've looked at those. We've looked at how habits are constructed. Basically the strings you can pull, and then we've looked at bad habits and how we could change them for good habits. So I will see. I'll probably can make some kind of export for this, and I'll make sure to send it to you afterwards. This is like a start. This is so. I really hope it helped you to start thinking about your habits and how you can influence them. We'll go a little bit further into that about how to influence your habits. Let me see. Go back to the presentation again. Then I probably need to go out of the full screen mode here. Yes, there we are. Cool. All right. So taking, you can say, okay, that's all very nice, those habits, but how the hell do I get those implemented within my day? Well, luckily there's a couple of tricks for that. So what I want to talk about next is a little bit about routines. So your brain capacity for making good decisions or choices is limited. I mean, your brain is actually a muscle, and it gets fatigued. It requires energy, and at some point you're just drained. You might recognize that. So if you would have the more conscious decisions you have to make, the earlier you've reached your capacity for making good decisions. So how can you counter that? And as well, that's by creating routines. So if you're executing habits in the same order or at the same time, you create routines. So you don't have to think about a series of habits, and in that way you can free up that brain capacity to make those good decisions. Indeed, to drink water instead of alcohol, or to eat a salad instead of a donut, and that's what you can preserve your energy for. So that is the use of the benefit of routines. Okay, how can you incorporate new habits within your current routines? I mean, there's probably I don't know all of you that well yet, but there's probably some very blue persons who are very structured and very rational, and who have also kind of set routines, and probably people who are a bit more red, a bit more from the emotional side of things. But I think we all in one way or the other, we have some kind of routine within a regular day. And there are some ways which you in which you can use the consisting parts of a habit and to incorporate them within your routines. So let's go over them. I remember we had the cue, craving, response, and reward. Those are the 4 parts of your habits. Well, so if you're talking about cue, so what triggers your behavior? What you can do there is you can stack your habits. So let's say you want to drink more water, or you wanna improve your mobility, something like that. Let's take that last one because it's an actual example I heard from a member of ours and I loved it. Here's this guy. He wants to improve his mobility. So what does he do? He squats while brushing his teeth, and I really love that, because obviously, well, I think most of us brush their teeth on a daily basis, and maybe even more times a day. But I mean, you can stand up while you're brushing your teeth, but why not squat? And so he links that habit of brushing his teeth with that good habit of improving his mobility by squatting, and that way he stacks those habits, and he makes it easier to do it. So that's I really like that one. So that's what you can do with the habit stacking. All right. Next one. So we had the cue. Next one is the craving. What you can do there is to make it attractive. So let's say what you can do is let's say, for instance, handling emails. We all know that. That's probably not one of your favorite activities. But let's say you do like to watch your Netflix series. Why not do it together if possible? Why not answer your emails while watching Netflix? That way you make it very attractive. So that's what you can do with your with your craving. So combine and kind of link the thing, the good habit. I mean, answering your emails with something you like to do, and that makes it attractive. Cool. Then looking at the response. So what is your response to the craving? What you can do there is to make it easy. And an example of that is what they call environment design. And let's say you wanna get into the habit of eating more fruits. Well, a very simple one is buying a fruit basket and putting it onto your kitchen counter instead of in the crisper in the cooler, because you all know what happens with fruits you put in the crisper in your cooler. They get forgotten, and then after 3 months, like, hey, are those apples? Oh, whereas when you put them on something where it is very visible and it becomes very easy to grab an apple, like on your kitchen counter or on your dining table, whatever. That's a very small thing, but that's how you can make things easy. Put them in plain sight. And then the last one, the reward. What do you get out of it? Make it satisfying. And well, that is something maybe some of you blue people can relate to. one of the things I love most about working out is logging my score afterwards. You know, nothing better than logging what you've done, or having a checklist behind, crossing things off a list, saying, okay, working out, check, done. So that's how you make it satisfying. And well, if you're a bit less blue than I am, then there's probably things you can think of which you can make those good habits satisfying. So that is those are a couple of ways in which you can link those good new habits which you have identified to your daily routines. So think about, and that's actually what our next exercise is about. Last one, and then we're almost done, guys, and then we can start talking about food. So I would like you to go back to Menti again using this code. I'll write it down in the chat again. 7280939. There it is. All right, so let me switch screens again. Let me pull up the right exercise. Yes. Okay. So we're going back, and we're going back to those three. So quick recap. We've looked at the three most counterproductive habits, and then we had a look at, okay, how can I turn those bad habits into good habits? Now we're gonna have a look at, okay, those three new habits. How can I incorporate them into my daily routine? So with those things we just talked about, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. Think about those new habits which you thought of. How can you make those obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying? Let's do another brain dump on that for a couple of minutes. The picture is the summary from the book Atomic Habits. Yes, Atomic Habits. I love it. Thanks, Marilu. All right, things are starting to get in. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Okay, let's have a quick look at the things you've written down. Combine Netflix with evening exercise. Very nice. Yeah, very good way of habit stacking. Huh? Make it a cue. Okay, I'm gonna watch Netflix, then I'm gonna do exercise. Very good. Install water drink app. Very good. You know, whatever gets measured improves. That is about making it satisfying also. Saying, okay, I've drank my the number of the amount of water I need to drink on a daily basis. Very good. I like this one. Start your day earlier so you feel okay to relax after work. Yeah, it's getting those things which you want to do, which are good, as early as possible, like working out. Like this one as well. Drink water from a fancy glass with a slice of lemon, looking fancy. Yeah, well, I mean, if that, you know, very good, very good. If that if that is what triggers you, if you like things to look good, why not do that? Very good, very good. I see quite a few things about sharing. Finding nice veggie recipes, sharing recipes. For that, we also have our Facebook group, which I think Jeroen will send, or maybe has already sent you that that link. Like this one as well. Listen to new music while running. Again, very good way of making it attractive. I like these ones. Buy new sport gear after every month of doing CrossFit to stay motivated. Giving yourself a reward. I think that's very important. You know, yeah, you're putting in a lot of work, so it's important to reward yourself for that as well. Standing on one foot while brushing teeth. Very good. Cool. All right. So here with this, we've also come to the end of this mindset set workshop. So sorry. To do a quick recap, we've looked. Yeah, we've looked at the importance of action. We've looked at the importance of focus, and especially focusing on your circle of influence. We've looked at habits and how they determine a large part of what you do, what they consist of, how you can use those part of habits to turn bad habits into good ones, and then into looking into, okay, how can I incorporate those good habits into my daily routine. And I think what is important, and what we found with this challenge. I mean, we've been doing it for 2 years now. Is that those are the habits. The mental side of things is very important. So that's why we're putting so much emphasis on it in the beginning. Also, the whole food recovery, which Nikki is going to talk to you about a lot, is very important. But the whole mental side of things is also very important. What I think is also, and that then after that, really, guys, I'll stop talking. We can have a little break, and then we're going to start the food workshop. But one last thing is, it's our aim. I think you should see this challenge as a start, and not as a goal in itself. That is, I think, really important. we want this to be a start of a healthier lifestyle, which you can keep up for the rest of your life and not only for 4 weeks. The way to do that is to make small changes one at a time. Don't try to do everything different at once, because it will not last. And that has to do with what we said at the very beginning, because then you're actually trying to change your whole personality, and that's not gonna work like that, you know. So we're in it for the long term. This challenge is the start of a healthier lifestyle, and let's try and implement those changes one at a time in a way that is consistent with who we are, and then slightly put ourselves onto that better trajectory in a way which is sustainable and which we can, you know, just maintain for the rest of our lives. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for your time. It was very very exciting, very nice to do it in this way. I hope you liked it as well. I will see if my recording has worked. I will see if I can share those Menti mood boards we've created. Thank you very much. Let's take 5 minutes to get a sip of water, toilet break, and then Nikki will take over for the food part. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, Ruben.
Dankjewel.
Thanks, see you in a bit.
Thank you.
Adiós, amigos.
Thank you, gracias.
Kun jij mij
Presenter maken.
kun jij mij admin maken? Dat
Ja.
ik het overneem?
Ja, ik ga eerst even proberen hem te saven en dan ga ik proberen jou admin te maken.
Ja, top.
Even kijken.